So when we were talking the other day, you shared that you've been mentoring some of the younger people in Aviva. Just kind of talk about that, how that experience happened and how that's been for you and for the organization.
Well, I've got to that stage in my career where I feel that I owe it to many people for where I am today. I wasn't born to be so successful. I've learned along the way. I worked very hard, but there were so many people who offered their hand and which I've grabbed and learned so much from them. And I think it's come to a stage where I should actually do the same, to give, impart the experiences that I have gone through. Because people don't really, learn a lot from textbooks, but they learn much faster through experiences. And I try and, I think that's the best part of my job, actually. If you ask me why do I wake up and go to work, is because I have a vision for the company, but also to go and meet up with the younger ones and help them to work to their full potential. And I always believe that if you're coaching somebody, you don't do it because you are going to benefit from it. It's very possible that you coach somebody and the next day they resign. And I've gone through that experience. A young lady came to me and said, I want to talk to the mentor and not the CEO. And I said, fine. We went out for a coffee. She asked me, she had another job offer and whether she should take it or not. I told her the pros and cons. A couple of days later, she came and resigned. And I said, as a mentor, I was very, very pleased because I gave her the pros and cons, and I'm happy that she could make a call. She could make a decision. She could lead life her way. So I think as mentor, it's important to go and share with people. The gray hair, you can't wait for youngsters to get gray hair, right? You got to give them that experience that I've had through my gray hair when they don't have any. So no, I think the experience of 5-10 years can actually be given, imparted in a few minutes if you're actually sincere. And it's very fulfilling to see these youngsters grow very quickly.
And what's the impact to the company of really nurturing these young people in your organization?
It's obviously easier said than done because all of us are so busy, right? It is something that I enjoy a lot, but if you actually would look through the priorities of a CEO, I think there'll be very few CEOs who'd say mentoring a youngster is top of his list. Yeah. And we are traveling a lot of the times, we are handling some big decisions. It's not easy to find the time, but I do it because I absolutely enjoy it.
So we're talking about mentoring of young people, but I want to take you back to when you were a young CEO. Was there a mentor there or somebody that helped guide you along the way?
Yeah, certainly. I have had two mentors in my life. The first one I found when I was in my mid to late 30s. And the second one happened to be my boss when just before I got the job for the Philippines. And he helped me to settle into the job. But I've realized in a relationship with a mentor, it is generally the mentee who has to do all the hard work. If you don't do the heavy lifting, the mentor is unable to actually give anything back to you. And the mentee most of the time knows the answers, but they need validation. They want to go to somebody more senior with experience and say, I've got to go A, X or Y, and then which one should I go? And you yourself know which way you want to go, right? Because if you've done all the heavy lifting, but that is a great relationship because whatever age we are, we always need somebody to pat us on the back and say, hey, you're right, go and do it.
For sure. So I know you run an apprenticeship program within Aviva and you're very much a big supporter of that. Can you see the future apprentices at that very early stage when they first join the company? What makes them stand out for you where you say that's somebody I'd like to take in and really work to nurture that person?
So in a way, they aren't tested. So I wouldn't say, so the apprentice program is we try and recruit the best talents. Yeah. We put them through a couple of years where they study part-time and they work part-time. We rotate them. So we get a sense of whether they're good, they're adaptable, and they are being assessed by different bosses within 2 years. It's not the same person having a view on it because they've been rotated. And we'll check the views. So if a couple of people think they are good, then obviously they are. I think the problem that we are now facing is these guys are very hungry. So they come into the office and say, I want more challenging projects. And we are not really, we aren't catered for that, because we thought everyone will go up at a certain pace. Now the progression will be at a certain pace. These guys don't want it. Now they want exponential, which is great. In theory it is great, but in practice it's a problem, because then you have a small group of people in the company who want to go at that pace and everyone else wants to go at the regular pace. And how do you create a program for one where the others don't feel as if they've actually been left out?